Welcome to Drumshee Days, starring Maura Logue and David Ison.
Nora Gallagher back with yous again. Welcome back to Drumshee, that wee hidden gem of a place in the heart of Donegal. Our story today tells of the end of the summer of 1960 and the shenanigans that went on at Toe Tappin', the big dance competition with prizes that Fr Maloney had organised. You see, Fr Maloney needed a bit more funds in the parish funds so that he could buy the long-awaited carpet for the vestry flagstone floor. Fr Maloney had been waiting now over 2 years to get the money for the carpet. And he knew he had to come up with some good fundraising plan before the summer was out. So he consulted with his special advisors, Nan Coyle and Nabla Mulhern, the merry widows. They told Fr Maloney that if he wanted to do a proper fundraiser and have the dry dance hall packed solid, that he should think of holding another dance competition like he had in 58, but this time with prizes. And they told him that he'd also have to eat humble pie, because if he wanted the young folk of Drumshee to come to his event, he'd need to bring back the Strabane Boys Band. They advised him also that he shouldn't mention a word of the dance competition to the bishop, that forgiveness might be better than permission where jiving music was concerned.
Let me tell you about a place down in Drumshee way, where the people all love to play because they're twisting the night away. Twisting, twisting, twisting the night away. Twisting, twisting, they're twisting the night.
Fr Maloney got all organised. He had Rory McCann, his right-hand man, as the MC for the dance competition. Rory McCann was the right man for the job. He was always turned out well, was Rory McCann, Fr Maloney's right-hand man. He booked a Mr. and Mrs. Quinn to judge the competition. They were from Letterkenny and they came in their own car. Oh, they looked wild posh, and she was wearing furs like towny ladies like to do. He also said that there would have to be an entry fee for the competition to buy the prizes. And he had Nan and Nabla on duty at the door. They'd be taking the admission money, and they'd be taking the entry prize money as well. When I told Nancy Dolan about the entry fee, she says to me, "Well, Father Maloney should have been a bank manager. He always comes up with money-making schemes, doesn't he?" Well, I didn't care because all I wanted was to hear the Strabane Boys Band again, like the rest of Drumshee.
Gonna rock around the clock tonight. Gonna rock, rock, rock till the broad daylight. Gonna rock, 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 rock around the clock tonight. Rock around that clock tonight.
Do you know Nancy Dolan herself, the owner of the Rainbow's End Hotel, was as bad as Father Maloney at thinking of money-making schemes? You know, sometimes the pair of them would be in competition, one trying to outdo the other. But you'd have to be up early in the morning to get the better of Nancy Dolan. She used to even piggyback on Father Maloney's endeavours and make a fortune out of them herself and a good profit. Oh, Nancy Dolan was some girl, I'll tell you. Now, when I told Nancy Dolan that the competition was going to be on, she started to get ideas. And I remember one day her saying to me, "Nora Gallagher, wait till you see what I've planned for the big competition." But I'm not saying anything yet. Well, I'll let her at it, because you never knew what Nancy Dolan was up to. But all I knew was we were going to have a big night at that dry dance hall. Now, the whole talk of the townland was the dance competition, and everybody was nabbing partners for the dance competition. But I was working so hard in the Rainbow's End Hotel that I had no time to go and find a partner. And sure, those dolly birds, hadn't they taken all the best dancers as it was? So I didn't think I'd be in the competition. But didn't luck come my way? Wait till you hear. I was serving the forestry men, Nancy Dolan's lodgers, in the dining room for tea dinner one night, when Johnny Maguire, one of the forestry men, says to me, "Nora Gallagher, will you partner me for the dance?" Oh, I got such a shock when I heard him say it. I nearly dropped the teapot out in my hand, but I didn't let myself down, and I says back to him, "Aye, surely, Johnny, aye, that'll be grand." And I skedaddled out of the dining room and ran off to tell Nancy Dolan me good news, that Johnny Maguire was going to partner me for the dance competition. Well, Nancy Dolan got all organised, and she started to organise me, and she says to me, "Well, I've a dress that you're going to wear now, Nora, and yourself and Johnny, you could practice every evening here in the bar. I've the record player, and I've lots of dance records, and I'll be your dance teacher." Well, I'll tell you this, Nancy Dolan did all of that. And I'll tell you, she was tough on us as a dance teacher. She made us learn all the dance moves, every single one of them for every dance. She even made us learn swing dancing. I mean, nobody had heard of swing dancing in Drumshee. But she insisted that we learn the swing dance moves, and we did. And I found out that I had a left and a right foot after all. Now, Johnny Maguire, he was well seasoned at the dance moves. Sure, he had been to the Devlin Hall in Letterkenny many's a time. He knew how to do all the fancy moves, all the smart moves, all the cheeky moves, and now he could do the swing moves.
Well, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing, yeah. Do-wop, 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 yeah. You know it don't mean a thing. All you got to do is sing, yeah. Do-wop, 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 yeah.
Oh, the big night came. All excitement. I was all aflutter. I remember putting on Nancy Dolan's dress that she let me borrow. It was one of her London-bought dresses. A midnight blue velvet dress with a big swing skirt and a powder blue underskirt at all. She gave me her glass sparkly beads and her powder blue gloves to wear. Well, I was transformed. Nancy Dolan had me turned out well. You know, I was on cloakroom duty that night of the big dance competition, but I kept my coat on so that I wouldn't spoil the velvet dress surprise. But being the cloakroom girl gave me an opportunity to look and see what everybody else was wearing. Oh, well, you should have seen some of the Dolly Birds fashion. I think they spent more time on fashion rehearsal than they did on dance rehearsal, as I noticed later on in the competition. You see, a cloakroom girl sees all, and I saw everyone before they went into that hall. Who was the first, of course, in the cloakroom? First always at the dances in 58. First always at the bingo. Maura Logue. Well, Lord save us, you couldn't have missed her. Hadn't she dyed the hair a bright, brave orange? And it clashed mightily with the scarlet red dress she was wearing, and it sleeveless. All I could hear in my head was Nancy Dolan's voice saying, "Nora, there's one word every woman over 40 should know. Sleeves." Maura Logue didn't get that note, but sure, she thought she looked gorgeous, and that's all that mattered. She was all giddy with excitement because she was in the competition. Her partner was Mr. Gilbride. He was one of the first forestry men to come in 1958, and he partnered Maura Logue for the dance competition held by Fr Maloney back then. He wasn't too keen on partnering her again, but I'll tell you, Maura Logue, she pestered him, she coerced him, and she stalked him until he gave in and said he'd partner her for toe tapping, the big dance competition. And she was all excited waiting to see him. And she says to me, "Oh, Nora Gallagher, I'm all excited and I'm all through one another. I hope I don't put a foot wrong. But I'll say this, Nora Gallagher, Mr. Gilbride isn't as sure-footed as he was in 58, and I hope he doesn't fail me." I said, "Maura Logue, he'll be grand and you'll be great. Go on out there now and enjoy yourself." Well, I watched her head on into the hall. She was like a tropical parrot, parroting away, talking to herself as she went into the dance hall.
Well, hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart, sweet Mary Lou. I'm so in love with you. Don't you know, Mary Lou? We'll never part, sweet Mary Lou. I'm so in love with you. Sweet Mary Lou, I'm so in love with you.
Well, next into the cloakroom came Jimmy Rua the Red and half-deaf in one ear Mary T. Late developers and matters of love, the happy couple. Oh, they were full of themselves. You see, they were the winners at the last dance competition in the Dry Dance Hall in 58. And I could see that they were sure they were going to win again in 1960 at Toe Tappin. They take off the coats and hand them to me, and then I notice they're wearing matching outfits. Half deaf and one ear Mary T has them rigged out in 2 white shirts, and hadn't she sewn on green epaulettes with emerald green tassels dangling down. She even had made 2 bow ties for them in gold. I think they were going for the tricolour look myself. Now, around Drumshee in the 60s, no one would be seen dead wearing matching outfits. But that didn't bother the happy couple. They were that full of it that they had barely time to say hello to me. But as they were leaving me, they did wish me well in the competition. I think they said it because they thought I was no competition at all to them. And they headed out into the dance hall floor as the Strabane Boys band were warming up.
I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna be. You're gonna give your love to me. I'm gonna love you all night and day. You know my love's not fade away. You know my love will not fade away. Not fade away. Yeah. But you know my love will not fade away. You know my love will not fade away.
Well, me dance partner, Johnny Maguire, arrived in. He was looking dapper in a well-tailored suit on him. I told him to go on ahead into the dance floor, that I had to get myself ready. Betty Shan had come to take over from me on Cloakroom Duties. And I remember when I took off my coat, she stood with her mouth open in shock, and she says to me, "Nora Gallagher, well, you look like a movie star. Go on out there, girl, and win that prize. I'll say a wee prayer to Our Lady of Knock for you, for good luck and a win." I thanked her. And I did think I looked good in me midnight blue navy velvet dress. And I headed on out to that dance floor to find Johnny Maguire, me dance partner. Oh, the place was packed by this stage. Fr Maloney takes to the stage. Fr Maloney loves making announcements. He announced that Rory McCann was the MC. He announced that the judges, a Mr. and Miss Quinn, had come all the way from Letterkenny. He announced that the prizes would be given at the end of the competition to the winners. And he announced the Strabane Boys Band, and everybody cheered and shouted loud.
Everybody's doing the brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. You're gonna love it if you get a chance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. It's so easy, easy to please. It's just like doing your ABC. So come on, do the locomotion with me.
Oh, me and Johnny were raring to go. Everybody took to the dance floor when the competition started. Well, you could hardly move. It was like a big thick soup, of one shoving and pushing and one's bumping into. Myself and Johnny, we stayed on the edge of the heave-ho. And I'll tell you, there was many's a one eliminated in the first round. You see, the judges went round, and if they tapped you on the shoulder, then you were out. Well, after the first round, there was a lot of them out. And now things had thinned out, and the real serious business of the competition had begun. The Strabane Boys band went and did a set of jives. Oh, you should have seen Jimmy Rua the Red and Mary T. Well, they were stars on the dance floor. Their tassels were swinging north, south, east and west. People were looking at them. But Johnny Maguire and myself were doing quite well, let me tell yous. We were jiving, we didn't miss a beat. Oh, but there was one time when I nearly missed a step. And that's when I saw this bright red streak going past me, like a meteorite in fire. Who was it? Maura Logue. She had missed Mr. Gilbride's hand and she was spun into orbit. And she whizzed on down until she bumped into two heavenly bodies halfway down the hall. Nana Nobla, the Merry Widows. Well, that was the end of Maura Logue and Mr. Gilbride in the competition. Then the tempo changed again. And this time, it was a waltz. And it was my favourite song. Oh, Lord.
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You're the one I long to keep, and I love you so.
There was a lot of ones eliminated during the waltz. They got a bit sloppy, you see, especially some of those lads who were under the influence. And the next thing then, the tempo changed again. Would you believe it? They started to play swing dancing. Well, I'll tell you, you should have seen that for a Malay. Sure, half of them hadn't heard of swing dancing, and certainly nobody knew how to do the swing dancing except myself and Johnny Maguire. Well, we went into our swing moves and we took over that dance floor. Oh, poor Jimmy Rua the Red and half-deaf and one-ear Maura Logue. They'd never heard of swing dancing by the looks of it because they started to make a wild lot of mistakes. Oh, half-deaf and one-ear Mary T, she was getting wild angry. And she got confused. The next thing, didn't she march up to the Strabane Boys band, her shouting at them and saying that they were playing music that wasn't right music at all. That why were they playing such music? It was like frisky foreign music and shouldn't have been in the competition. Half-deaf and one-ear Mary T was eliminated for rudeness. The champions were gone. I looked around me. I'll tell you, that prize was looking closer. Myself and Johnny, we just moved around that dance floor with a swoosh and a swing.
Yeah, well, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Yeah, boo-bop, 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 wow. Yes, it don't mean a thing. All you got to do is sing. Do what, do what, do what, do what, do what, do what, do what.
Well, we were stars. We were the swing dancers of Drumshee. I looked around me. We were the only competitors left. Johnny Maguire and myself had won the competition. The judges came over to us and they gave us a round of applause. And myself and Johnny Maguire had to go up on the stage. I'd never been up on the stage before because I never won anything. And we went up and Mr. Quinn gave Johnny his prize and Mrs. Quinn gave me my prize. And then we were called down to the dance floor again to do a celebratory dance. And we got everybody to join us on that dance floor. The place was packed. I never was as happy. I'd never won in my life anything at all. And here I was now, queen of the toe-tapping dance competition. The Strabane Boys Band played the last set of the night, and myself and Johnny Maguire left the dance floor. I went into the cloakroom, and Biddy Shan told me to head on that she'd finished me cloakroom duties for me. So I got me coat, and I left Biddy Shan to it, and myself and Johnny Maguire ran over to the Rainbow's End Hotel to show Nancy Dolan our winnings, our prizes. Well, I have to say now that the prizes weren't much to write home about. Fr Maloney hadn't wasted any money on the prizes. We got 2 wee skittery trophy cups. I mean, they were about the size of an egg cup for a sparrow's egg. They looked ridiculous. But sure, we didn't care. We were the champions. My mother put my wee cupping on the kitchen dresser, I remember. And she polished it that much that she polished the fake silver off it altogether. Johnny Maguire, he gave Nancy Dolan his cup. And Nancy Dolan put it on a shelf in the bar for all to see. And she was delighted for us. And then she whispered in my ear and she said, Nora, I've been planning for a few weeks now, and I can tell you that the Strabane Boys Band are going to play here after the competition. Yes, they told me that they'd play for free beer and a free bed. So if you don't mind, Nora, there'll be 3 more for breakfast tomorrow morning for the Ulster fry. And then we'll send the Strabane boys back across the border. Oh, Nancy Dolan, you couldn't be up to Nancy Dolan, you know. There she was, piggybacking on Fr Maloney's endeavour, and she'd make a profit at the end of it. And she says to me, Nora, that dress was made for you. You keep that. That's your lucky dress. And then she told me to take a celebratory drink. But I didn't get much time to celebrate because the crowd were coming in from the dance competition and the hoolie was beginning at Nancy Dolan and the Rainbow's End Hotel. I felt like a queen, you know.
Grab your coat, grab your hat, leave your worries on the doorstep. But you know life could be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter-pat of those dancing feet? You know life could be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. On the sunny side of the street.
You know, me mammy was disappointed. Father Maloney never had the local press photographer there to take her photographs. But as Nancy Dolan said, I don't think Father Maloney would have wanted any photographs to appear in the local press. He certainly wouldn't want to have the bishop know about the competition, Nora Gallagher, says she with a wink. Well, the crack got going, and the Strabane Boys band played in the corner, and I went around and I was getting compliments from everyone, and I was getting a lot of attention, especially from a certain Johnny Maguire. And the fun went on, and I remember seeing Nancy Dolan looking over at the door. And who was hovering at the door but Father Maloney. He'd come to see the competition from the Rainbow's End Hotel. Nancy Dolan takes her baby sham and a glass of brandy, and she saunters over to Father Maloney. And she hands him the brandy glass and she says, "Congratulations, Father Maloney, on the wonderful job that you did at toe-tapping the dance competition. And weren't the Strabane Boys band generous in spirit to come here and play at the Rainbow's End Hotel for a song? We're both winners tonight, Father Maloney, aren't we?" And she clicks the glasses and says, "Sláinte." Nancy Dolan. You'll never get the better of Nancy Dolan, I thought to myself. Oh, that was the best night. The night when I won a prize and I had a handsome man to dance with at toe-tapping. And I remember the fun we had at the Rainbow's End Hotel after it. It was a good way to end that summer in 1960. We had a good summer. A summer that brought luck, a summer that brought romance, and a summer that brought the Strabane Boys back to Drumshee.
Going home again, we're heading down to that Rainbow's End, where we're dancing with our friends. We're heading home again to the Rainbow's End.
Well, there you have it. The summer of 60 in Drumshee. We're glad that you joined us for our wee yarns and stories. And maybe we'll see you again soon. But for now, from myself and himself, we say Bannacht agus Ihawai. Slán.
Let me tell you about a place I know down in Drumshee way. Everybody there loves to play 'cause they're twisting the night away. There's Nora Gallagher who's never blue, Father Maloney and the Merry Widows too. They all, I keep telling you, they're twisting the night away. They're twisting